Welcome to a new game called Wanderlight. This is a religious game that teaches us about finding your path with God's help. This is how you play. First, after logging in, you select your character's skin tone and tunic. Press save, and then press yes. Once you do that, it'll load up, and it teaches you how to play. So, your pilgrimage begins at home, and you have to, when there's a blue exclamation point above this person, so you walk up to them and talk to them. And now your dad talks about your lantern that you're holding in your hand. And your lamp grows brighter when you make choices that reflect God's love, or the right choices. You will discover new places and people that teach you about Catholic faith and help you grow as a person. A pilgrimage is a special journey. You need a heart open to God's love. So now you will begin your pilgrimage. So you'll visit a valley, the city, and the forest. And one of your family friends, Captain Keith, will ferry you from port to port, letting you transport between the city and wherever you need to go on your quest. So, your dad sends you on a quest, so you have to go into your bedroom. This seems like your bedroom. And then find your backpack. So here's your backpack, you pick it up, and now you return to your dad. So you walk back through here, and now there's this exclamation point again, so you just walk in front of them and it'll start talking. So you got your backpack, and now you get your backpack of sandwiches. So you just walk over onto the table, tap on your thing, and now in your backpack it will say sandwiches, basket full of treats. So now let's return to talking. So now you're going to follow them outside. But first, I'm going to explain this new thing called a prayer tent. So you go to your prayer tent, and there are all these things that you can walk up to and pray. You can pray the sign of the cross. So let's do that right now. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah, you can do a lot of things in this prayer tent, and it's very fun and engaging to pray here. So, now let's follow our parents outside and talk to them. So your mom tells you about this new tablet that you have that has a lot of fun features. So, you can tap on your tablet to look at your map. This map shows you, once you have a quest from your mom and dad to go somewhere, it'll show you where you need to go by showing an icon above that place. So, your pilgrimage will take you on a journey. Each step is a quest, but sometimes it'll be kind of confusing. So you have to look at your quest log, tap on your tablet, and there are 4 different options here. And here is your quest log. It shows what you have done, so now you need to begin your journey. And this quest log will fill up as you get more quests. You also have a Saints You've Met page. We haven't met any saints yet, but we will soon. And then there's a settings where you can just change the settings and use sounds. But now let's talk to our parents one more time. You have your dove to guide you like the Holy Spirit. And you follow your bird, and you never know what you might discover. You have a tent, and yeah, open your prayer tent like we explained earlier. So follow the sparkle path to begin your journey. So now we can check the map, and now you just follow this path and you begin your journey. So your new pilgrimage begins in the forest. Did you see those stars? Yes, they lead you to where you're supposed to go, and you have that exclamation point. So now you have to talk to your godparents. So you help them out with the morning chores. And now a raccoon runs in. So the raccoon heads for the trash can and knocks it over. So now you should have a quest to just go over there and fix the trash can. So your godmother, yeah, that raccoon, you better get the mess cleaned up, and so you help your godparents by just walking over to this trash can, clicking on it. Now it's fixed, so you talk to your godparents. So they're asking you what to do about the raccoon. So you're going to probably go into the village to talk to some other people to see if they've seen the raccoon. So you're going to visit Henry and Wilma to see if they've seen the raccoon. So now you can check your map. Here you are, and here's St. Francis. So once we head over to him, we can begin another quest. Last thing I'm going to show you guys is how you meet a saint and when they pop up in your tablet. So you talk to St. Francis and you tell him about the raccoons, and he tells you that he's the patron saint of animals, so there's a little tidbit that you're learning if you haven't known that yet. So here he's talking about how God made all of creation, and so you respond to him. And so the raccoon apparently scared his dogs, and the puppies ran away. So when you find a puppy, pick it up and put it in the basket. When you find all three, we have to bring them back to them. So we're going to look, and there's one puppy, so we just walk up to it, click on it, and it goes into our backpack, where we will give it to him after we find all three. So we have brought all three puppies back to St. Francis, and now he is congratulating us. So now he's going to talk about the raccoon, and you realize that the raccoon's just trying to feed her family. So St. Francis teaches you that God calls us to look for solutions that don't harm others. Jesus gave the Beatitudes to teach us how to live our lives in a way that brings us closer to God. So now you have a choice. You can either say, do you know the Beatitudes? He says, do you know the Beatitudes? And you can either say yes, or this question face, it really means just no. So we're going to say that, and he tells you one beatitude, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the land. The word meek, he tells you, means non-violent. Those who do not use violence, but respect their neighbors, are blessed by God. So now you have another choice. You could hear the story of how St. Francis learned to be one of the meek. So we're going to select yes, and see what his story is. So he grew up rich, but then he saw a beggar, and he realized that he had so much and the beggar had so little. He began to question what he thought was important in life, and he realized that he wasn't living the way Jesus teaches us, a life of sharing God's love and peace with all living things. He needed to become humble and meek, just like God when he came to us as Jesus. So he gave up all his wealth, all his things, and lived a life dedicated to loving, peaceful relationships with others. So now he gives you a charm bracelet with 5 of the 8 Beatitudes, including blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the land. As you learn more, you'll find more charms to help remember the Beatitudes. So now we will keep going to find Harry and Wilma. Right after we met St. Francis, now he pops up in the Saints You've Met page in your tablet. So there's a backstory. St. Francis of Assisi was son of a rich cloth merchant from Assisi, Italy. Francis decided he didn't want to live like his father. He wanted to live like Jesus, with complete devotion to God, like he told us. Francis's very simple and peaceful way of life attracted many followers who wanted to bring the gospel to life through their actions. St. Francis is a patron saint of animals, and so that quest we had from him was finding dogs, and like he said, he is the patron saint of animals. So that's teaching us about that. Wanderlight is a fun game because it teaches prayer while keeping you engaged and having fun. One thing I really liked about this game was getting to know these saints and looking at the Saint You've Made page to see their backstories and learn more about them. One thing I would improve is adding more choices, because we had some choices, but they weren't really, game-changing, and I think that would appeal to, older audiences, like 4th graders and above. But overall, just thanks to Loyola Press and NCR for letting me review this amazing game, Wanderlight.